Hello, my dear friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to The Sanctum. We're going to be continuing this series on Tibetan yoga. And in this particular video, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the Tibetan sleep yogas. So now in the previous episode on the series, we spoke about the death yogas, as I mentioned how in the Tibetan tradition, they realize that once a person is born and incarnated into life, we experience day and then night, and then day and then night. And this cycle continues until death is experienced that puts an end to that cycle of day and night. So there are two main yogas for death. And now we're going to talk about the two yogas that are there at night, which are the sleep yogas. So now what the Tibetans realized is when you fall asleep, there are two experiences that you can have, two main experiences that you can have when you're asleep. One is you're either having dreamless sleep. So this is the sleep that you have, that you fall asleep and suddenly you wake up and then you realize, oh yeah, I fell asleep. And then there is the kind where you dream, where you're in this other world and you forget who you are. Sometimes you might be somebody else, you might be in a random place, strange things might be going on, beautiful things might be going on, and suddenly you wake up and you realize, oh yeah, I'm living life. And then you get up and do whatever it is that you do. So there is dreamless sleep and there is sleep with dreams. So the Tibetans created yogas for both of these practices. So first of all, let's talk about when there are dreams when you fall asleep. We call this dream yoga, or the Tibetans call it dream yoga. It's important to realize that why is there yoga for sleep? First of all, we as human beings are asleep for 30% of our life. So if you want to continue to move forward to reach your ultimate potential, wouldn't you want to use that extra 30%? That might be even 30 years if someone lives up till 100 years. That's 30 years worth of time that you can use on your spiritual path to learn about yourself, to transcend your karma, and to move closer and closer to self-realization. So that's why the sleep yogas were practiced. So dream yoga is very akin to what is commonly known nowadays as lucid dreaming. Although lucid dreaming was made more famous by writers such as Carlos Castaneda in his book The Art of Dreaming, and various other shamanic traditions that talk and use the dream state for spiritual advancement, in the Tibetan tradition, they come at it from a slightly different angle. So in the Tibetan tradition, they realize that when you are able to become aware of the illusion that you experience when you are dreaming. Most of the time, people are not aware of this. They're having a dream and they don't realize that they're in a dream. And even if some absolutely diabolical or ridiculous stuff is going on in your dream that couldn't possibly be happening in waking life, people still forget that it's a dream and continue on with it. So the essence of dream yoga is to become aware, first of all, in waking reality, of the illusion-like nature of physical reality. Even the reality that we are experiencing right now as human beings is not real. Yes, it's real in terms of we can touch it, we can feel it, we can smell it, we can hear it, we can taste it, and we can smell it. In that way, it is real. However, in every spiritual tradition, they talk about life as being an illusion. Maya, as it's called in yoga. It is Maya, it is illusion. And we forget that this is illusion and we get caught up in the matrix, if you want to call it that. So when we get caught up in this, we forget that it's an illusion. So one element of dream yoga is to be aware constantly of the fact that this is a projection, it is an illusion, it is Maya. And to hold on to that, so that when you constantly remind yourself of this in day-to-day life, when you fall asleep, you will realize and remember that even dreams are an illusion. And when that happens, you start to merge the conscious and the unconscious, therefore becoming aware that you're dreaming, being able to either follow the narrative of a dream or take control and manipulate the dream, depending on what it is your intention to do, right? So in dream yoga, a lot of the times what the Tibetans do is there's a focus on various mantras, the visualization of various bindu, or what they call saulun tigle, or little drops in the body, alongside working with various Tibetan archetypes and deities and Buddhas and lineage masters, and placing your awareness in different parts of the body to induce lucidity in dreams. Sometimes even dream yoga is used after a Tibetan initiation, especially in the Tibetan tantric tradition, to have an interaction or plant a dream, to have an interaction with the deity that presides over the particular tantra that you're working with. So lucid dreaming in the Tibetan tradition is very interesting and is used in that way for spiritual advancement. One practice that you can do is to become aware of your throat center, the throat chakra over here, and just keep your attention there. Now, oftentimes in the Tibetan tradition, this is done by also visualizing various syllables and drops and things like that, and placing mantras and things like that on the body. It's not necessary. That will enhance it, of course. However, for you, if you are a beginner into these sorts of practices, one thing you can do is just bring your attention to your throat and just keep your attention there throughout the day, especially as you fall asleep. See if you can meditate in bed for a little while, keeping your attention on your throat. And as you close your eyes and drift off into sleep, keep your attention there. And while your attention is here, this can begin to induce an awareness of the illusion-like nature in your dream, thereby creating lucidity. So that's one way that you can induce lucid dream, taking in the Tibetan dream yoga perspective and incorporating it into your own practice. The dream yogas were also used to work with daily life in situations that may cause disruption or confusion or anger or negative emotion in you, and to bring that into your dream state so that you can find that particular situation and the karma that it's caused. The karma just means action. So that in your dream you can begin to dissolve and work with releasing and resolving that particular problem or conflict that you may have created during your daily life. So like this, there are innumerable ways that dream yoga is used. It also can be used for manifestation. As the dream plane, everything you have to dream of it first before it begins to manifest in physical reality. This is also the view of dreams in the Toltec tradition or the shamanic tradition. You need to dream something first before you can begin to manifest it in the physical reality. The next yoga that I would like to talk about, sleep yoga I'd like to talk about, is called clear light yoga. So what the Tibetans realize is in dreamless sleep, if you're able to maintain your awareness, now 99.9% of people, when they fall asleep and when they have dreamless sleep, they don't remember this. They don't remember it. So this is considered more of an advanced yoga because it takes a lot of awareness and practice to be able to induce and be aware when you fall asleep and remain aware even when you're having dreamless sleep. It's very difficult, because why the Tibetans would do this is they realize that when you fall asleep, especially into dreamless sleep, you pass through what they would call one of the bardos, a transitionary point. And the reason for doing this is a gateway into clear light awareness, which is essentially the ground or essence, the true nature of reality itself. So the Tibetans would maintain awareness as they fall asleep and practice this so that when someone goes into dreamless sleep, from there, there's a point where they can experience the clear light awareness, and then they can unite with that, experiencing the emptiness of all that is, that is the ground, that is the essence of all that is reality. And this creates a non-dual state of awareness, what the Tibetans called Rigpa, which then can be brought in to your daily life, so that when you wake up and you hold on to that state of Rigpa, which is always there within you, it's a state of non-duality where your individual ego begins to fall away. Your likes and dislikes dissolve. The nature of that which is good and that which is bad dissolves. And there is pure awareness of everything that's going on. So that the things that happen in life don't stick onto you. They can come and they can go. And you don't have to label them as good experiences or bad experiences. They're just experiences. So this yoga was considered very advanced because the amount of focus and work that's required to be able to generate this is monumental, which is why there are various other practices and mantras and visualizations and working with various deities and various practices that are used to be able to aid in the cultivation of this clear light state of awareness. So that this is also useful when an individual dies. The ability for that particular practitioner to be able to recognize the clear light of awareness that is created just beyond death can allow an individual to reach enlightenment beyond death as well. So this is an additional reason why the clear light yogas were practiced. In addition to this, as I've spoken in the previous episode, there are also death yogas. So you can see how now the sleep yogas in some way can connect to the death yogas through clear light awareness. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it interesting. In the next video, I'll talk about the daytime yogas. So please make sure you give this video a like and subscribe. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the death yogas, the video I made last week, you can check that out over here or over here, somewhere here. So thank you, take care, and I shall see you very soon. Peace.